Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about people in families. Say it's a dysfunctional family or a narcissistic family, as some call them these days. And we're going to go through the generations of the family. Okay, like the grandparents, the parents, the child, the grandchildren, whatever, all the way back to, say, around as far back as you've heard. Okay. So think back. Who is the person that you heard about in your own family, if you come from a dysfunctional or narcissistic family? Think back. Who did you hear about, and what did you hear about them? The eldest, I guess. I think it's eldest, not oldest, but eldest. For me, I'm trying to remember, but what I do remember is hearing, like on my mother's side, that they didn't talk about certain people. Okay, so whatever that meant, I don't know. Okay, now what I usually would hear that within is that we have, according to one of my sisters, we have members of 4 Native American tribes. Okay, 4. Overachievers, I guess. And yeah, and they never would talk about them. Now, when I was a child, I saw a picture of one of them. It was a woman, and it was very obvious she was Native American, from I don't know what tribe. And when I was young, also, we had, me and I think my sister that's like 15 months older, we had to go to some kind of, I don't know what you would call it. Okay, we had to attend this thing. It was a Native American tribe, and we had to attend it. We were really young. Okay, my phone, this mount, I don't know why it jumps around, but anyway, I'm going to try to hold it. But, yeah, we were taught, we were told that there were certain people that they didn't talk about, but we were also told from both sides of, my parents' family, his and hers, that there were some people who did certain things, and usually the stories that I knew of, like my great-grandparents, now that I think about it, one was a great-grandparent, or I met 2 of them, actually, about how bad they were. Back then, people didn't use words, at least as far as I know, like narcissistic. But yeah, some of their actions and what they did were so strange and so, really, when it comes down to, abusive. But they didn't tell any good stories. So, and I'm getting to a point here, I'm going to make a point. And, but really think about it. How, did you ever hear any good stories about anybody in your family? The grandparents or great-grandparents, any of them? Or was it always the bad ones? That's not the point yet. Okay, and when you heard these stories about them, were the stories in any way like they were really trying to tell you don't do this? Or do you hear maybe some kind of admiration? Seriously, like they were admiring the fact that they did that? Or they just accepted it? That's the way that life is. Life isn't fair. Did you ever hear stuff like that? That's what people do. You know what I'm saying? Now to get to the point. Think about this for a moment. Think of your great grandparents. There was somebody in that family that was narcissistic, and or even maybe any kind of cluster B. Think even they say that, I've heard people say that a psychopath is genetically vulnerable to it. Okay, I don't know myself, but so to say psychopath. And there was psychopaths way back then. Think about how much each generation learned from the previous generation. So like a great-grandmother taught her, she made her her daughter, your grandmother, you see what I'm saying? The psychopath. I do see that. I do feel that, believe that. In many of the cases, if not all, but I don't have any research on it in front of me, but that they mold them, that the parents mold the next child. They groom them. They mold them into a certain way to be, say, like them. They want a little mini-me. And, clone of themselves practically, or they live through them, and that brings it about. So many things, but yeah. So But just think of how much they have learned from each generation, the greats and all this stuff, on how to be this. And think by the time your generation or the generation younger than you, your nieces and nephews, or maybe your cousins' kids, or something like this, think about how bad that child could be because of all that they have learned, from generation after generation handed down to them. Think about it. I mean, we learned good stuff from people handed down to us. Don't you think they can learn the really bad stuff? Yeah. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'm going to wrap this one up. Talk to y'all in another video. Bye.